BlastMusic247.com. We're changing the industry one artist at a time.
Hey, it's your girl, Melikia K, Courtney, and I'm overly not sure what just occurred because I saw the intro on the one screen, but not on the other. So if you guys didn't see that, I make my apologies immediately. We're not tech 100%. How about that? Oh, no. I am Melikia K, Courtney. Welcome to SXP MetaMorphosis 365. This is your growth podcast. What does that mean? It means you have, as of tonight, 83 opportunities to grow. So go ahead and follow the channel and binge. Gratitude first. Thank you so much to Sunshine Cromwell of Shine Vibrations, who hosts her podcast is Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So do tap in with that, Shine Vibrations. And then also to the Blast family. Hey, family. I really do appreciate you guys being podcast home as well as Melikia K, Courtney's channel, so do follow both. I tend to share this mystical magical overlay. One moment, bam, and that helps you to go and find Blast music as well. Definitely a great place to follow for several reasons, and I think I will get into those reasons now because last week the conversation was so good we barely got into it. So let's say it this way: when it comes to there we go. When it comes to Blast Music 247, you want to go and register as an artist if you are an artist and would like to have your content shared on a podcast just like this one. And then 2, register as a fan so that you can enjoy all of the wonderful content that makes its way over to blastmusic247.com. Gang. So tonight we are, okay, I'm getting messages that folks are entering the studio. We are continuing with our conversation, men on men's mental health. As you can see, your girl got her voice big. I can breathe, sort of. I still got the band and the playing in my nose and in my chest, but we are better and getting better. And same time, let's see what this is. We touch the mystical magical buttons. Hey, lady, how are you? Welcome. Okay. Boop. All right. So we're going to get into this conversation. I do see that Logan is here. I do see that Scott is here. I'm going to introduce the gentleman, and then I'm going to do some mystical, magical wee down to the audience and let this conversation take place. This is part 2. Let's see what's on deck. First, let's say hi to some folks. Wait. Boop. Did it work?
Hello.
Hi.
Do you hear me? Am I on stage?
I can hear you. I just don't see you, and I don't know why.
I don't know either. I don't know what's going on.
But I could totally hear you. So let's see. Hey, Logan. Let's get Logan up here. Are you here too? Can you hear me? And can you see?
I can see everybody.
You can see everybody? Are you on a computer or a cell phone?
I'm on a phone.
I'm on the phone too. So like,
I don't see.
You don't see anybody.
And my viewpoint is I'm not on stage with you.
But can you hear him, Logan?
I can see y'all.
He can
hear
see
everybody.
and hear. So let me see. I'm going to touch a button. That might not be a good idea. Nope, that doesn't do anything either.
Scott is broadcasting from the abyss tonight, y'all. It's okay.
You know what?
That's great.
You know what?
Why can't I see my... And Brony says she can't see neither now one of y'all. You could just see me. So I'm gonna go downstairs real quick, and then let's see if you guys magically appear if I go downstairs.
Don't lock yourself out.
I won't be locked out. I don't think. Let's find out together.
Wee.
Okay, now I see me, but I don't see Logan. Hi.
Hello.
Logan, are you up here?
I'm up here. Been up here.
You're like a disembodied voice, though, and that is extraordinarily disturbing. I'm getting thoughts like you as a ghost would just be so wrong. There you are.
Me,
And
me
of
as a
course,
ghost would be amazing. First of all,
the ghost.
Woohoo! I touched buttons and we all appeared. It's magic.
Okay, we're all here.
This is what happens when folks start touching stuff. But I had to touch it to see what would happen. Okay, great.
And we've
And now she can see us. Yay! Thank you, Rudy. I appreciate it.
and Logan is virginity past. So
what? Yo, wait a minute.
We need a moment of silence for all the virginities that died in that sentence. Oh
so
my god.
before you disappear, Melikia, once again, on behalf of myself and the Spectre, thank you for inviting us and trusting us with your space.
Makes me laugh. I'd be laughing.
And I was hoping that you might actually not disappear this time.
Woo, let's stay up here with you, Venus.
I mean, we can talk.
Oh.
I know there were some specific questions that you wanted us to tackle or maybe look at, and I just wanted to give you the opportunity to kind of throw those grenades on the floor, and we'll see what happens. But I didn't just want you to disappear before that happened, and I'll give space for Logan if he wants to thank you or say boo or something.
Saying
Abyss.
is crazy work.
Abyss.
I just wanted it to be known that when you disappeared and you were pushing buttons, he said me as a ghost would be just wrong. I'd make an amazing ghost. And thank you for having us back this fine, lovely Tuesday. I'd have all the jokes as a ghost. I'd be Eros the friendly ghost. We just going, y'all are going to be laughing. I'm like, yeah, give that a little extra seasoning for the ancestors, Yeah, a little more. We're going to have great food. It's going to be great.
Hey. That's appealing, but I'm just gonna need you not to be a ghost. And I'm gonna need to have Scott not
Just
Broadcast from the abyss today. It's okay.
yes, just not broadcast from the abyss today. That's the best way to say that. Thank you.
You're welcome. See, like we
I,
get it.
I always
Teamwork make the dream work.
I always behave.
Everybody watch out for the lightning. We're just looking
Um,
around for the lightning. On that note. What were you about to say, Logan?
I am typing it in the chat.
Okay. So to kick off the conversation, if you would like, and again, I'm a fan of dropping monstrous questions and running away, giggling, and just enjoying you gentlemen talk. But I will ask you this because this is one of the questions that was on my thought list for today, just in case you guys wanted those. How is your heart today? How is your mind today?
Ooh.
So, do you want that first?
While she makes that great escape. Oh.
1, 2, 3, not it.
Oh, you know what? It. I'm gonna call Ghostbusters on you. Next time I see you, I'm throwing sage while it's lit. Okay. How is my heart and how is my mind today? So I'm gonna give the surface level answer and then I'm gonna give deeper because that question, and I think we touched on this a little bit last week. Okay. Um, it would be very easy for me to say my heart and my mind are okay because that question doesn't give you any bearing of what to measure it against, you know. And as a man, um, thinking linearly, logically, and from the foundation of what we talked about last week, where we were raised from, if I'm still able to function, if I'm still able to do the things, if I'm, my mind and my heart must be okay because I'm still thinking and it's still pumping, you know, not an emotional assessment, not a stress assessment, just pure functionality, you know. Um, That would be a very easy surface level answer that someone who maybe either isn't emotionally in tune or is but doesn't feel comfortable to share, or for someone who's asking and not considering the depth of the question or lack thereof. Now, as far as how is my heart and mind really doing? Whew. Um, I'm dealing with a lot, and I'm still processing, trying to find all the words or the right words to even define where my heart and mind are. And I think that's one of the issues for men when you allow yourself to really start processing, when you allow yourself to feel beyond okay, but it's a new space to be in. You may not have words, you may not have descriptions or things because it's not a foray you've been into, so how easy is it for you to describe how you're doing when you're still trying to figure it out for yourself, when you're allowing yourself to feel it for the first time, um this may seem a little off field, but I remember the very first time my dog, when we got him, experienced rain and experienced thunder, and he was out in the backyard and raindrops started falling and he thought the sky had broke, and he was up just looking like, what is this? And then he heard a roll of thunder and he started barking back at the sky. And I was like, that's not an argument you're going to win, dude. And I brought him in the house. He had never experienced that before, so he had no reference point of description or understanding. um for us, it's, when we allow ourselves to step into that place of really experiencing, embracing, and allowing our emotions to breathe and such, one of the hardest parts can be describing them if that is not what we are used to. And it can be very frustrating for a man who, people want us to communicate and be able to tell me what's on your mind, tell me what you're feeling. If I don't have the words for it, it's not only frustrating you because I'm not saying it, it's frustrating me because it's hard to describe. So, I want to give you some space to lend to that question too, but those are just some of the thoughts that bubble up when that question comes to bear. And I will tell you, just the display on my camera, there is absolutely no way I'm going to be able to read the chat because everything is so small. Um, so
That's what she
it,
said.
huh? What? What? I will pour a circle of salt around you.
The people are gonna get a comment in the private chat.
Logan, it is your turn.
um, that was great. Everybody go wee. Um, no. My heart is it's good. It's in a pleasant space. Definitely agree that a large part of the time we don't really take time to um process the new emotions, the new feelings, the new scenarios and situations. We're quick to jump back into familiar habits, familiar places, what's comfortable for us. Um, I'm on my best behavior. Um, I don't know what y'all are talking about. That was I haven't done anything yet. I also just want to take a moment to say that your dog, when you first got him, not knowing what thunder and rain was and thinking that the sky broke, is absolutely adorable. That is comically probably one of the best things about dogs is like you're going to look at them and be like, "Are you serious right now?" Like you just can't do anything but laugh. Um, Heart and mind for me are both like inquisitive. They're like I said, my heart's in a good space. Um, my mind is kind of explorative. Like where I am right now isn't ideally where I want to be. I mean, I'm going through things, but the manner in which I'm handling them is different than I have in the past. So it's like it's a new path. It's uncharted territory. Like I don't know what's going to come from this. I just know that whatever it is, it's going to be a lot more positive. And like I had, it's funny because I had therapy earlier today. And my therapist was like, "You are making bigger strides to a life outside of anxiety, and you're shaping it to be what you want." And I think that is um, important for us as men when we're talking about mental health. Like, how do you shape life to be the way you want it while also being mindful of those around you that you care about? Um, and I think that also comes with a like want and desire to heal. Um, and yeah, like
You touched on something there, Logan, and I don't know if our host wants to jump into another question, but if she doesn't reappear, um, I so one of the things that over time I've had to struggle with, because I have a very logical mind. Things have to make sense, right? And sometimes it's that thing of being able to deal with more than one thing being in the same space at the same time, or two things can occupy two things can be in existence without without negating each other, without I can be happy and sad, I can be angry and at peace, or I can be confused and yet still driven. um there can be a swirl of emotions, and sometimes there is such a demand from the world, first of all, that wants you to be happy or just one thing, because we can deal with one thing at a time, but there's such a swirl of things going on that trying to grab onto that one doesn't inherently do justice to the everything that is moving, number one. And number two, it is also simultaneously difficult to accept some of those feelings. It's like you hear you were talking about what sounded like choosing how you wish to be, and how you desire to go forward. And I hear the fake it till you make it, or the all the different, and I'm not throwing shade, I'm just throwing out different comments I've heard over time. And there is a truth to the choosing whom you want to be, uh, and then at the exact same time there is that, whether or not you want to call it imposter syndrome, or the angst and anger of, you know I can only say I'm a lion, but so long, when am I going to roar? I can only say I'm an eagle, but so long, when
wow.
fly, you know? and it's infuriating. And at some point, you, you're arguing with yourself of, am I living in hope or living a lie that I'm only telling to myself in the mirror? Um, there are probably a lot of arguments that people don't know that men have with their own selves inside their own head before we get to anybody else in the day.
But why? Like, okay,
Hi.
because I'm listening. Hi. So, okay, I appreciate what you both like shared your point, and um, I hear a dance that bodes a question. How are you making your decisions? Because here's what I get. What I do understand is a lot of times the war magically becomes, and I really love what you just pointed out too, Scott, the fight within self first. But there seems to be damn near always the moment that comes where the fight or disagreement or misunderstanding comes between the male and the female, or if they're same-sex partners, male and the male, but in a relationship point. So it's like, how, I guess the question, the pushback for me was like, how are you making your decisions? Like, were you taught as a man to make your decisions this particular way, or was it literally just the impressions of, from environment, from family, from self? Just you're just making everyday decisions, just making a damn decision, or is it prescribed? Because what you're saying, I'm like, yeah. Did you have like a prescribed set of if this then that? Like, huh?
I'll
So,
start with it. Oh,
okay,
Go ahead, Logan.
go ahead, because I've been talking a lot here. So go ahead.
and she poofed. And she poofed. You blinked and you missed her. Um, so for me, initially, I wasn't taught. So like all of my decisions were made based on survival, and surviving. Whether it was never like for longer than a day.
Wait, pick me, teacher, right quick, because here goes. An added layer. Colored in from this position, is there a difference from men who were raised by their fathers, and men who were not raised by their fathers when it comes to the decision making?
And poof. And poof. Just Houdini, y'all. That is crazy work.
You're
But
being nice with the Houdini. I'm thinking like she run in, drop a flashbang, run out. You know.
clear, gone. Um, so I'll touch on both topics first because not only was I not shown how to make the decisions, I didn't grow up with my dad being present in my life. So my story, my decisions were made based on surviving the day, sometimes even surviving the moment. Um, and then learning to cut emotions off, but not really have a thought out process as long as I survived in that moment. Um, to kind of like fight another battle, to make another choice. And then I got older, I got out of that situation. um my decisions kind of became heavily influenced on emotions and the environment. Like, what do I need to do to fill a void that I have? What do I need to do to cling to something that wasn't secure? Like, I'm and that led to a lot of like impulse because logic kind of fell by the wayside, and like I was always in a state of anxiety because I'm like, I got to make this decision to survive. This has to survive. This has to, like, you. It's almost as if you create a constant cycle of panic and like sadness because you're not seeing the big picture. You're making decisions irrationally in the moment based on your feeling, and it kind of like creates blinders for the communications. It creates blinders for your everyday life. It creates obstacles that don't necessarily need to be obstacles. So then when entering into a relationship, you may want well, but you're not even fully aware of the fact that you're only seeing a small fragment on a large canvas. Like you see a tree versus the forest. Um, what's up, Triple P? Triple P needs to join the chat. Um, we're up here talking about men's mental health, and he can be the non Houdini third person. But I had to learn to kind of sit with things. I had to go through the process to start going to therapy, learning how to take a step back and make logical decisions to see the big picture. Um, and then my choices became more about living versus surviving. Um, and I think that's something that you have to have a conversation with yourself about. When do you decide that you want to live versus survive? When do you want to be able to see the big picture and make decisions to and choices to like build on a foundation instead of like picking twigs and things that are going to eventually self-destruct and implode. And that's my take on it.
I appreciate your take. I'll share this. I was raised with my father. He and my mother didn't get a divorce until I left for the military, and he was violent. And there was dysfunction in the household. And for me, um, it wasn't really about a sit down conversation of how you as a man make decisions. There was a lot of survival element, similar to you, Logan, in the sense of I think that's where um, the start was for me. You know, if I keep everybody around me happy, um, then I'm not getting beat. You know, I'm not in trouble. I'm not. I just you know keep everybody around me happy. You know, whether or not it's with jokes, whether or not it's with and a very external focus on what can I do for everybody else, um, or where else can I be so that whatever the problem is, it's not me. Um, Very much externally focused. Um, very little internal focus as far as what about me, how do I feel, that pretty much drilled down to a lot of what I don't want to be like, who I do not want to be like, and the things I do not want to do, which I said last week, is not really a way you can grow into something. You're growing away from something but not towards something. And on one hand, where that first part of the external became a benefit, um, as I got older, I learned how to slow my thinking down a little bit, um, be more logical, thoughtful, critical, and even strategic in my approach to, yes, I was still a person who was very concerned about everybody else externally around me being well, and if they're okay, I'm okay. Um, but it kind of shaped and helped some of my logical think engine, if you would, when I went into the military or the police department or any of that, for whatever reason, just how my mind worked. Didn't help me at all when it came to me thinking about me and how I chose to move and the choices I would make. My choices, I had a plan, I had a desire. I would, figure out. Uh, I could always figure out a path. Uh, Everything made sense and was logical. I knew the things I wanted to do and the work I needed to do to get there. Um, Yes, for me, um, there was the underlying emotional, how can I put it? Some of the choices I've made, and I struggle with, probably even to this day, revolve around uh, proof that I'm enough, proof that I'm able to, proof that I can, proof that I am not what others have said that I was. Evidence of that I'm better or beyond or this, that, or the other, and it's so difficult to separate from these things in the sense that you look at. I'll put it this way:
Mhm.
you look at, and I see you reappeared, so I'll shut up shortly.
No, go
Um,
ahead.
let's say you have someone like, I don't know, an Olympic track star or swimming star or whatever else, and they are driven, right?
Mhm.
And they can tell you part of their work ethic is to prove themselves as good as they're working for it, and a lot of people cheer for that. It's just part of their driven nature.
Of course.
At the exact same time, I have to admit there can be an unhealthy side to that. But it's hard to separate one from the other when the goals that you're driving for, even if part of the fuel in that engine, might be that thing about proof, it doesn't necessarily take away from the fact that where you're going is a good place that you want to get to, or what you want to be is a good place you want to be.
Okay.
So it's hard to sometimes separate, because it doesn't inherently mean you want to get off the path, but you would like to get that out of your mind. If that
It's to be held. Like it's a I don't think it's for me to say if it makes sense or not. Like it's for me to think about, for me to ponder, and I'm working to understand. So I'm enjoying the conversation you guys are having and what you've shared so far. And y'all already know, like my mind be moving, and it spun into a question that I had in mind as well. On the lighter side of life, there's got to be some awesome stuff about being a freaking man that men are able to acknowledge and see. And I would ask you that because I see the from what you guys have been sharing from last week to this week too, just a lot of the pressures thereof, and it's so interesting to hear the similar line, whether father in the home, whether father not in the home, on how you guys approach your thinking, your decision making, life in itself, how you drive, what you aim at when you drive, and then two, that the border or bookend being that a lot of times folks are driving to where they didn't choose to, or driving just because they're driven, but it's not where they want to be. It's kind of how it's what I'm hearing, right? So it makes me wonder. There's got to be some. I love being a girl. Like it's so much freaking fun. So I wondered, is there something that's so amazing about being a boy, about being a man, and what are your gratitude practices? Like, do you guys do that? Because I know we do that. But do you guys have gratitude practices? And what's so amazing about being a penis carrying American?
well,
We can do windmills.
uh,
Let's go.
uh, aside from writing the name in the snow and pulling over the car anywhere in the world and being able to handle my business if I need to, as far as, number one, um,
Such a left turn.
that thank God for that part of manhood. What I'll say is this, and Logan, if you agree with me, feel free to yay and amen from underneath your cloak. Um, I Do I have gratitude practices? Yes. Are there great things about being a man? Yes. But I think a lot of that thought process is tempered most of the time because men tend to be raised. I'm not saying for all men. I'm not saying I am the spokesman for all men. Until I get paid for that, I'm not going to be. But I think most men are raised of a mindset, and I've had it spoken out to me out loud. Do you expect me to throw a parade or clap for you for doing the things that you're supposed to do? You know?
Okay, now we get
N-
to have a conversation.
Now,
Oh, because I'm a villain. I'm fit to be a villain right quick. Go
well,
ahead.
no. I just want to be clear. I heard that in my growing up. Okay, and I've heard that in life in different places happening to different people. Now, my problem, okay, with that is one,
Excuse me.
people are very quick to complain about what is wrong, but will not balance it with the same level of effort for whatever is right. That's one.
Okay,
And number
so I'm gonna
two,
ask you to hold that thought and don't forget because that's a second part, and I would like for Logan to answer the first part first, and then we're gonna jump into some dirt, mischief style.
I,
So the first part of the question being, do you have a gratitude practice, and what's the best part about being a man?
I didn't say that though, but okay.
Wait, what? You did. You said peeing in the snow, bird
Well,
fighting, pulling over on the side of the road. Wait, write your name in the snow. I'm sorry. Write your name in the snow is what you said. And being
I,
able to pull over the side of the road and break out that number one.
I
And then you deviated into a separate thought.
okay. I will yield.
Go ahead. And we'll come back to there's room for you to answer the question if you didn't get to your true answers. Logan, go ahead.
um, yeah, we definitely can windmill and helicopter thing. Shout out to Marielle for like if y'all need his link, send that man a message. He will give y'all all the helicopters and windmills you want. Um, but on a serious note, I I enjoy the bass that comes in my voice as a guy. Like it it creates a certain like vibration. It creates a certain energy and presence. Like you can drop your voice and play around with like the range of things. I like having that idea of chivalry, like opening a door and being polite, having those moments where it's kind of like you see a mouse running around the house and like the expectation is you gonna go handle that mouse. Like it's fun to be characterized or painted as somebody who's fearless and like heroic. Um, to that extent and effect, I do agree with Scott that like a lot of us were taught as adolescents. Um, do you want a celebration because you did what you were supposed to do? Like that was a a common thing across the board. Like I got straight A's for like 5 years in a row, and there was no celebrations. There was nothing. Like I got a B, and they were like, "Oh, okay. Like, what are you doing?" And then, like, heaven forbid, I got a C, and then I went back to straight A's. They were like, I came back and I was excited to show my report card, and they were like, "You want us to like have a party for you doing what you're supposed to do?" And I was like, "No,
Yeah.
but like the acknowledgement of doing something right would be appreciated." Um, and I got weird about it. Like even now, like I tell people, I don't need to be the front face of everything, but acknowledge that I do good work. I don't need like a giant plaque or a statue constructed in my honor saying I'm the greatest employee ever, but just like say, hey,
Mm.
you're doing a good job. Like a little bit of positive reinforcement goes a long way for like guys.
Okay,
As
so the
far as
wheels are turning. The villain wheels are turning because if you make
May,
me
may I say
that
something?
creme brulee, I will send you messages daily. Like, send
Wow.
me that weekly, and we can talk. Like, yeah, I will send you plaques and whatever the else because that thing right there, y'all. Okay, go ahead, Scott. My bad.
No problem. No problem. Hey, it's not your bad. It's your show.
Oh, when I tell you that cream brulee, though, go ahead, Scott. That's why I stayed downstairs. But go ahead.
My absolute favorite thing about being a man. Okay. And Arrows touched on a couple of them when it comes to chivalry or whatnot, but it's that look from someone you love that loves you without words, without anything, but the look they give you when they know they can count on you. When I am enough in me in that for them, I'm good. I'm great. I mean, that is like the parade. That is me, calling people over. I need high fives right now. I'm gonna crowd surf for a bit in the back. I there are fireworks going on. When I have that look, that that person, I know you got me, and I know I got you, but you know I got you. I'm good, and that's coming from a person who you know has lived with a lot of feeling that I'm not enough.
So
So
how do you know when you get that look? Like, how do you interpret that look, and then to jump back into, like, we're going to play needle and thread right quick, to jump back into the what do you want a parade comment?
no, no,
Um,
no, I don't really want a parade, but it
no,
feels
no,
that is
I'm
okay.
no.
I'm sorry.
Say what you're saying. No, say what you're saying.
No, 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 no. I don't want a parade. I don't need a parade. But that for me is that look.
I
That
understood that when
oh,
you
I'm
shared that part. I was asking, so because that is up to interpretation. If you're dealing with the look on someone's face,
mm-hmm.
that is an interpretive type of thing. And then two, what you guys were sharing about what do you want a parade, or what do you want a cookie? You want a party for doing the things that you're supposed to do. So confession time. I'm a mother. I'm a wolf mother, step one. And 3 boys, 3 girls. And I definitely believed in the doing what you're supposed to do rule. Now, mind you, I'm a punk mom on the other end because I definitely rewarded them for their honor roll because I was not playing about that. That was still very important to me. And I wanted them overly encouraged with that, like for real, for real. So I do notice that there were times where there were certain things, like when it came to household chores, up, down, there's no way I'm going to sit up here and blow smoke for you doing what you're supposed to do. Now, when you go and exceed and you go the above and beyond, where I ain't got to come behind you and really do the 2 step, then you can hear about it. But the difference between done and done well, and I do find that is where a lot of the conversations happen or misalign, because I think that's what it is when you move to the miscommunication. So then back to what you were saying, Scott, about the interpretation of that look. What or how do you interpret
So
someone's look? Help me
so
understand that.
I'll give you a perfect example, and
Go.
you may know this person.
Okay.
You don't have to say names to keep the innocent and such. So when I met my beloved, um, I one first time we got in the car together, I opened the door for her. Okay, chivalry, like Logan said. But one of the things that will stand out to me for all time, and it wasn't until that moment that I noticed this. This was the very first woman in my life ever who, after I closed the door for her to get in the car, went around to the other side and she had reached across to open it for me to get in. Why am I describing that? there are certain unsaid things that I feel are done that complement, speak to what a man is doing, at least for me, what I'm doing, and letting me, I'm not asking for, good boy, attaboy, this, that, or the other, but that spoke to me so much. I opened up the door and I was shocked. I got there on the other side and I was shocked. For a minute there, I was like, did I leave that? I didn't leave that open. And I saw that her hand there and I was like, oh my God, she's opening the door for me. And it's things like that. Now, I point that out because, when I say a look or something to let me know that where I am is enough for you in that moment, whether or not it's getting the mouse, like Eros is saying, or whatever it is, that is enough for me. Now, on the other side of the spectrum that you're asking, um, and I think you are, and you'll pop back up and appear if I'm wrong. When I talk about the balance, uh, I know at least for myself, Eros can say if it's for other men, I believe it is, but we'll see. If you start hearing the negative, especially on repetition, then eventually what goes off in a man's mind is, wait a second, there's enough energy. And I'm not just saying this between spouses, I'm saying this between people. Okay. So don't just take this as man versus woman, man versus spouse, or anything like that. But if you have enough energy and enough vision to be able to take that time and speak what's bothering you, then at the exact same time, with those exact same eyes, you must see some of the things that are going right. And that means you're choosing not to, because I can't be wrong all the time, or why would we be here? You know? So it actually becomes a frustrating question for that man as to, I'm hearing all of this, all of this, all of this problem, but not that I want a parade. I just want balance. I at least had to get something right today. Um, so for me, when I talk about a look, it I'm really talking about the unspoken things where two people who, holding hands, they're locked in relate they're locked together and know that they're enough. And I don't know, maybe that's ambiguous, especially if someone hasn't experienced it yet. I'm thankful enough to say I have. Um, but that is what does it for me. And I'll give room for arrows to be naughty.
Why I gotta be naughty? Wait a minute. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy work. No, you made a really good point where it's not that we want a parade, but if we only hear the negative and it's kind of like on a repeat, like this is wrong, this is wrong, this is like you just hear all of the negative, all of the things that are wrong. It does become frustrating because it's like, okay, well, why are we not having the conversation so I can correct what I'm doing wrong? But like also, why are we here? Am I like I have to be doing something right? Am I even enough to be with you? Like, do I deserve to be with you? Like, because after a while, you like begin to feel like your efforts aren't enough, and that begins to deteriorate your confidence in yourself because it's just like I'm doing everything wrong. Like no matter what I do, there's always something wrong going on. It's not enough. Like despite my best efforts to change and turn things around, you're just not happy. And like at the end of the day, I feel like as partners, we want you to be happy. We want you to like look at us and then just break out into a smile that's infectious. We want you to be able to light up the room with your energy. We want you to be glowing. We want that soft girl that's like excited to like touch up on us and everything. We want all of like the cute swarmy moments that are like Disney fairy tales and whatnot. You know, we want the affections, we want the affirmations, we want that softness, that security, that inviting warmth to be like, yeah, this is enough. Um, and it's not necessarily about having the parade, to the point of doing something good and then doing something well. Like, yeah, everybody um does what we're supposed to do. Like, if on the everyday to day thing, you know, we get up, for instance, take out the trash, do the regular chores and everything else like that. But we go out of our way to give you something special, to let you know that your efforts and your work is appreciated. Like whether it be a small note, an edible arrangement, flowers, if that's your thing. Um, Going above and beyond and cooking dinner. You know, it's in the reciprocation of those things when you go above and beyond to be like, hey, I appreciate you. Like we have to work in tandem. Like this is my way of showing I appreciate you. Just like give me some sort of acknowledgement that like you appreciate me, you cherish me, you respect me, and like just build that healthy bond. Um, and that's not to say that like, hey, if we do something wrong, don't like try to hide it for fear of like how we may take it. That's a conversation to have, you know. It's important to make sure that you are heard, seen, and understood, but also don't just like beat us until we're a dead horse 8 feet in the ground. You know, like we're simple minded beings.
No, we're not.
um
No, we're not. I'm going. No, 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 no,
we look, I'm not saying you and me, but most guys are simple minded
no,
people.
no, 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 no. No, no, don't do that to us, Arrows. Don't do that to us. Really, seriously, because
Explain what you mean by simple minded. Because it
Like,
is it like I don't think he's saying like slow bus. I think he's saying
no,
simple desires, like
right.
simple to please, simple in our asking. What
Yes.
are you saying?
I'm saying like we're simple in like what we want, what we ask for. We're not asking for like the high tech, super technical labyrinth discoveries to be made. We just want the simple things of life. We appreciate the simple things. We have a really simple thought process. Like see you, protect, open doors. Like it's cut dry to the point. There's no like we're not doing things where we have to go on like Indiana Jones style missions to achieve it. That's what I meant by like guys are simple beings. We're not saying that we're like slow or anything like that. It's just we're not super complicated in what we want.
Some of y'all.
it's going to be over here. Um,
Not some of y'all.
you
Um,
know, I agree with you, and I guess the hairs on the back of my neck stood up because I feel a disservice has been done to men as a whole for so long with the narrative of we are essentially emotional cavemen. There is very little that we need. If women cook for us and give us a piece, we're fine. All the three things we need from women are cook, sex, and you know maybe not yelling all the time. And throw some cleaning in there. So like that's all we need. And it's like to me such a reinforced emotional service of the simplicity of a man's mind, uh, that as much as said for men not being available or attentive or even educated as to how to hold a woman's mind and heart, that is the school of thought to what's going on inside a man's head, if anything, let alone his heart. So I don't know. I hear and agree with what you're saying from the fullness of this perspective, and I apologize for cutting you off. But
It's okay.
I also, throw that out there. I feel that has just been the narrative for so long,
Yep. And, and and I mean that goes to the statement of guys are simple beings. Like food, sex, and like communication.
And like the third thing is optional.
Yeah, right. Like the third thing is really optional, but like we've evolved, and I don't think a lot of guys have gotten out of that mindset, or they say that they've moved on from that mindset and they want more, and then they're offered more, and they don't know how to take it. Like I want a partner personally. If you don't want to cook, that's fine. I like cooking. I'm going to feed you and feed your soul. Like pour into me the way that I pour into you. Um, like it's a 50-50 thing. Sex is great. That is the optional thing for me.
Wait, what?
I
Wait,
really
I'm sorry.
want.
What? What? What's the? What? I'm sorry. What?
Listen, sex
Go
is
on,
an
repeat
optional
that
thing.
for the lightning, so it can find its way to you.
It-
Someone who is presently somewhat cosplaying as a condom right now on stage. What did you just say?
Send him to the abyss. um, but in like all
What is
seriousness,
wrong with you?
send him to the abyss. It's not
You
me.
get the
I
rim.
promise
That's not even the like. He is beyond abyss behavior tonight. Go ahead. Wow.
you. Yo, I'm done. This is funny. But yeah, like I sex is an optional thing for me. Yeah, it's nice, but I really want you to pour back into me. Like there are other things. I like intimacy. That's not just
Mm.
the sex. That's like the quality time. That's the reading. That's the evolving my mind. That's like doing other things to pour back into me. Like it could be anything. You feel like I had a bad day at work. Run a bath, you know? Like it's all about balancing the energy and growing together. Teach me something that I don't know, and like I will teach you. If you want to learn how to make something, I will teach you. Like I want to learn how to garden, and you're an excellent gardener. Guess what? Like um teach me how to garden. It's the reciprocation of the small things, the things that we nowadays often take for granted. Make a playlist. Like I like music, you like music, make a playlist. Like give me songs that would mean something to you or translate how you feel about me. And you know, just that's kind of like the ebb and flow of relationships. Like you have to have that conversation to know what it is that you want, not only with a partner, but what you want for yourself. Like what puts you in that space of saying, all right, I'm good. With whatever you got, I'm good. Whether that be like, hey, I can't cook, so I'm gonna need you to cook. Otherwise, we eating out every day, and that's an expensive bill that we can put together. Um, it like sex is on the table. How many times we gotta have sex? Whatever that third optional thing is, like just have fun. Like it's really all there is to it. But yeah.
So I'm going to share this experience with you, and I completely agree with you. And I'm glad that you took the time to define what intimacy means to you, and that it's so much more than just sex. Um, one of the best one of the experiences I have with my partner that still sticks in my brain. And I don't think I've ever really gone so deep as I'm about to talk about it now. Um, it was early on in our togetherness, and we went karaoke. And we were in the room, and uh, she said, "Is there anywhere that we can do karaoke tonight?" And I'm gonna now. First of all, I've never done karaoke. Second of all, never in my life had I ever had a desire to do karaoke. Okay, I there is no one in my life who would ever bet money that I would have done karaoke. Okay, at all. So she want to do karaoke, and I want to be where she's at. So we doing karaoke. Now I said to myself, okay, I want to do something new. I want to have fun. I have no idea how this is going to go because I've never done anything like this before. But here we go. And one, it was a giving myself permission to experience something new. But here's the interesting thing: when I look back on it, I chose a song. I went up there twice. I forget one song that I did, but the second the I think the first time I did the song there's no sunshine when she and found out that it said 28 times. Even the karaoke DJ was like, hang on, you're gonna be here for a minute. And I sounded like trash. And uh got some decent food somewhere nearby. For myself, the one thing that made that a memorable and enjoyable evening, as opposed to an evening in my mind that I would have been like, why am I doing this? Why would I even go here? Why would I be here? It's because of who I was with.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have experienced, I wouldn't have been anywhere near that. And even if I had on my own, it wouldn't have been fun for me because that's not how I'm wired. But because I was with my partner, it was such a memorable moment and fun. And that's part of that intimacy that I think you're talking about, where you're where you're truly experiencing life together.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
men desire that. Believe it or not, men desire that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
This is a wonderful time to push pause. I really enjoyed what you guys shared, and I'm glad you clarified, Logan, because I was about to how to say a couple of things that I ain't gonna even say. How about that? So okay. So truth of the matter is, I appreciate you both coming and taking time out of your Tuesdays. Of course, you are welcome for the rest of the month if you have time. If you do not, I understand. But I am really enjoying men on men's mental health and getting to hear how you guys think and how you plan or expect or want or need and desire and the fun you have and the things you think. It's pretty interesting in your heads. So thank you for nothing, poets. Thank you for sharing yourselves tonight. What I did not have you guys do was to introduce yourselves. I'm going to ask you to do that on your way to we, because I do have to share the musician before we get up out of here, and we're already over our hour. So please do take time and introduce yourselves, share a bit about what you have available as far as offers, and anything else you want to share. And if you throw a poem on it, if you throw a poem on it, I'm not going to stop you. Just saying.
Does it have to be a clean poem?
Absolutely, it does not.
Okay.
I'm just gonna hit mute and let you do what you're gonna
No, go
do.
first. Go
No,
first.
no, 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 no,
If I
no.
don't know what I'm gonna do, go first, Scott. You got it. You're on the left anyway.
Well, I don't even know what that means. I don't have a piece. I didn't have a piece prepared. Anyway. Hello.
Allow me to offer you a mystical magical prompt.
You're really gonna do? You're really?
Well, I mean, you said you didn't have a. I mean, it's a wonderful day in the neighborhood for a prompt.
She gonna do it. She gonna do it. Okay. All right.
Let me think. My mental man clock is ticking. That's where we're going. And introduce yourself too, please.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Scott Harrell, aka Father Time, in these clubhouse streets, in these poetry streets. Um, co-founder, co-host of Lyrical Vibes, brought to you by Partners in Rhyme for the last 5 years. I am also the owner and founder of Harrell Consulting Group, a business consulting firm specializing in business funding. I am also a professional announcer, voiceover artist, um, MC, and commentator for anyone who streams sports. And will be an author, up and coming author soon. My mental man clock is ticking. So, here we go. My mental man clock is ticking. As you can see, it struck 12 when I saw you. I want to meet you under the hands. This clock. Let you swing from the pendulum of this grandfather timepiece, and do you think you can make me chime once, twice, 3 times? There is a saying, even a stop clock is right twice a day, but I know I want you at least thrice or more. So what is the point of even keeping the score? I need you to understand that my name is Father Time, and I am a patient man. Why? Because wanting you for an eternity is not something measured by ticks or tocks. It's measured in breaths and how a bed rocks. It is measured by stars fading as the sun rises. It is measured by how I look deeply in your eyes and wonder, why are you thinking about tomorrow when every day for me is today? I am Father Time, and all I want to do is play. You see, my man clock is ticking, and it struck 12 when I saw you. This may sound a little repetitive as clocks continue to go around in time and infinity chases rhyme, and I definitely want you to be mine, but you still wonder what this all means without ever realizing that I've loved you before you ever knew you were loved by me. And I will be here long after there ever was. The taste of you will linger on my tongue, and the thought of you will remain on my brain. You are painted on my soul like a mural. My heart beats at the tone and time to your very essence. I was made for you. You can call me your stopwatch because I am your timekeeper, and my infinity is measured in your breath. So, my man clock is ticking, and you've made it strike 12. Come wind this clock, Father Time.
Everybody on demon time today. No, no chill, just demon time.
My God. My
I
God.
mean, I did say you could go first, but apparently I'm left.
Oh
I
my
don't know.
God.
I,
Oh my God.
for
I
the
just
record,
want to say, Melikia, it's not me. It wasn't me.
it's Logan's fault. It's clearly Logan's fault. We all know it's Logan's fault.
Oh my God.
Not you yet.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Um,
So, Logan, your prompt is
no. See, I already had like two different poems to do. I had one that was clean and then one that wasn't so clean. If she said it wasn't like anything else, I don't need the prompt. My God, that was crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah, brought
Mm.
out Omnis Vox. That was um I was clutching pearls, y'all. That was great.
That's what's under.
Um
Okay, I'm gonna mic up now.
I clutched. That's crazy. Diabolical work, Scott. All right. Um, the man with many monikers, Logan, L.A. Walker, aka Chef's Kiss, Eros, that filthy miscreant, Raven, the levitating Leviathan, Beelzebub. There's a lot of names. Pick up more names than most people change their underwear. I am a chef, poet, author. I have 5 books, all available on Amazon. Hit me up for the links. We are doing holiday treats. Thanksgiving's coming up in like 2 weeks. So if you guys want your chocolates, we have them by the half a dozen or dozens. They're mint chocolate bonbons, cookies and cream, or a salted vanilla caramel. We also offer cookies, same thing, half a dozen, or you can buy your very own medium-sized pizza cookie. We offer those in M&M, chocolate chip, or sugar, as well as cheesecake bites. Those are going to be by the dozen. Um, for the flavors for that, it's cookies and cream. Trust me, those are to die for. They're sinfully like you're gonna want to fight a lot of people for them, and you're gonna be fighting people to like not share them. So I would advise you order like at least a couple of dozens, two for you, and then like two to maybe share with everybody else. Um, and we've got apple turnovers and cinnamon apple and pear stuffed egg rolls. Um, just because of the holiday season. Yeah. For flyers, hit me up on Facebook. Logan Walker, the flyers on my page. Instagram, Chef's Kiss Arrows. I believe I have the flyer up there. If not, I will post it there shortly. Because I think I might have forgotten to do that. On TikTok, it's LA Walker 94. Follow me on all platforms and vibe out. Um, that's that's my intro. Now this poem. Um, I'm just gonna match the energy because that was crazy. Um, that was so crazy. Mm, Scott, you did this. Hello, welcome to the show where I'm getting ready to shatter your wet dreams. Lights off. We only need shimmers from the moonlight to eclipse our silhouettes for people to watch. I've been admiring the way you drip cosmos from your lips with curves sculpted by goddesses who taught stars how to burn. This appreciation we're exploring is filled with selfish indulgence because Whenever I look into your eyes, I want to devour your tongue whole so I can experience what forever tastes like, licking the back of your throat after the first kiss so our words will trip over our entwined tongues. And to be scribed, ugh, allow my love to be scribed into your body and perform from the depths of your moan. I want you to put your lips on my hips so tight you suck the marrow out of my bones, snatching the shape of my frame as you swallow my soul whole. May I take it slow, using the labors of your breaths as guidelines on what you like until you gasp for more. Let me take you to a place nice and quiet where there ain't no one there to interrupt. Ain't gotta rush. See, I just want to take you down that road. So please ride my throne so I can feel the vibrations in your diaphragm with chants of my name as I howl to the moon from between your hips. Didn't you know? When I'm on my knees, I'll have you screaming in quickened breaths. Don't stop right there. Oh my God. There's a sequel to this show. When we slow it down through candles burning timelessly into the night with every stroke, I'm trying to rearrange the schematic of your guts. I mean, realign your spine to extend and match mine until my name is braille upon your soul and the ink blots are wet stains filled with our poetry threading the sheets, lining the floor. Now, don't you want to come along for the ride of your life? Take a real deep breath, amor. I'm about to deflate every desire and sin with the last thrust you're ever going to remember until we dance again in your dreams. Somebody just had to be on top. And I snatched your soul in a dream. Bon matin, amor. Eros.
Yeah. You are a problem that needs to be solved in some way. I I think for safety, Malikia needs to make an announcement about anyone watching, even on replay. I find everything about tonight great. It's just unfortunate the background image you used, in conjunction with his poetry. I don't know if that's okay. Yeah, it's your problem, Eros. Your whole problem.
So this is going to be my disclaimer for SXP Metamorphosis 365 Growth Podcast. I understand that certain things were growing in rearranged inner parts and 12 o'clocks. There were a lot of 12 o'clocks. So we are not paying no child support from babies born from SXP Metamorphosis 365. There will be no child support. Please consult these nasty men who shared these warm things and then dirtied up your phone. So I would suggest you get a Kleenex or a towelette or something and just wipe down your phones and your computers for safety's sake. Just for safety's sake. I really appreciate both you warm-speaking gentlemen. Both y'all need Jesus. We're going to pray for you and throw the holy water on y'all because, on a note, thank you both for, and I would have never expected that in a million days. I did not think Scott was going that direction, but I gave him that prop. God knows. I didn't see that coming, Lord. But okay. So yeah, that's what happened. And we're just gonna go with that. Great. So yeah. Thank you both for coming. I don't know if I can say that. Wait a minute.
No.
Thank you both for being here.
Wrong level.
Thank you both for being here. I need to breathe. Thank you both for coming. Shit. Thank you both for being here. At SXP Metamorphosis 365 for men on men's mental health. So clearly, there's some things to discuss. Okay, great. I welcome you guys back anytime. What did you say, Scott?
Thank you
or
for
Sir 12
thank,
o'clock.
thank you for trusting us with your space, which is
Abyss. You say?
I mean, I think if more men would say that to women, after certain things, it would go. But thank you for trusting us with your space.
Hell no.
Thank
Here we
you.
go. Rim. Abyss and Rim. Go ahead. You were saying?
And
Thank you
you're gonna
for
put on
allowing us
music
here today.
right.
Wait, I heard Riot. And what did you say?
I was saying thank you for allowing us here today for the conversation and chat and
Thank
trusting us
you.
with your platform.
Good job. There we go. We're learning new language on account of y'all. There's amazing growth happening right now. Okay. Get off my stage. Say goodbye. Whee! Get out of here. Just bye. Heathens. Oh my god. Okay, also, thank you for coming. Wait, thank you for being here. I don't know if it's safe to say that word yet. We'll save that word for next week, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we continue to talk about talk with men on men's mental health. They got me flustered. Those were some warm things that they were saying. Awesome. Enjoy the replay. Make sure you press it. Share it with a friend. Important conversations and some mischievous shenanigans. Oh, hallelujah. I am Melikia K, Courtney, and I do have to push this button before we go, y'all. So hold on thought. Once upon a time, I mentioned following Blast Music 247 and submitting your work as an artist. Let's go.
Shattered with a scene of shattered dreams. Money on top of me, slashing with my heels. Devils on me dancing, sweating till surprise. But just want the fame, written a fucking crown. But you don't hold me tight, I'm sliding with my hips. Daddy loves the grind, climbing on my heels. Every penny mine, following my queen. Settle that night, will linger on the sheets. Tears me to forget that I was better. She could never tap that heat. Don't you know it yet? I'm not your baby. I'm sweetest of treat. Tears me to forget that I was better. She could never tap that heat. Don't you know it yet? I'm not your baby. I'm sweetest of treat. Only you can heal the pain inside of me. Love adrenaline, mix it with your plea. He wants to see my secrets, and then he wants to trade. Show me some respect, but did he let it come? Did you hold me tight, sliding with my hips? Daddy loves the cry, climbing on my heels. Everybody mindful with my grip. Set up the night, linger all night. She I'm not yours. Easy to forget that I was better. She could never top that heat. Don't you know it? I'm not your baby. I'm sweetest on trees. Stuck in my dreams that made up. I'm to die.
Beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael's soul. And just like Michael's soul, you can have yours shared on a wonderful podcast just like this one. Okay, with that, we have said everything that we need to say so far for tonight. Join us next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for SXP Metamorphosis 365 to continue our conversation with men on men's mental health. I got through that without any buzzwords. Bye, y'all.